Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee. For those of you that are new here, I feel like I'm a little bit crooked, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, so I kind of have I guess a story time video for today. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, but I think that this is like kind of a really big deal that I just realized this thing, at least for myself. So, and I don't really know how to phrase it, so I'm just gonna try and explain it the best that I can, like I always try to do. Okay, so let me just tell you guys the story, right? So basically, I was out with my girlfriend. I was catching her up about this guy that I was dating, and how that ended was basically um, he said that he wants to just be friends, and it didn't catch me completely off guard because I also was looking at him as only a friend when we first started dating. Like my initial feeling was this is just friendship vibes, but I still continued to like date him, and I did start to like him a little bit, but like there was still that like maybe we were just friends kind of feeling in the background. So it's not like that completely took me off guard, but it did make me sad. And um, I started journaling about it, trying to like process my feelings and stuff. I love journaling. It's probably the number one thing that's helped me. And I'm sharing my process about how to basically process your emotions and work through your triggers in my Empress of Esteem program launching February 1st. Enroll if you haven't already. Um, I'm sharing every single detail about how I raised my self esteem in this live training. And you also get like private coaching calls, a journal, and so much more. So check out the link in my description for more information about that. But basically, I was journaling about this because I was sad for a couple of days after, and it was really odd because initially I didn't feel any strong reaction. I was kind of like, okay, well, it's better to feel clear about what we are than to be confused and have this kind of like hanging in the air. And, I'm not opposed to being friends with someone. Like, I love my friends, like my family. So it's not like a loss or anything. Like, I totally in the moment took it so fine. But in the days after, I was so sad and I was like so emotional and I was journaling about it and because I was trying to figure out why I was having this reaction. And I felt like it was beyond an ego thing of like getting friend zoned, right? Like that was part of it, I'm not gonna lie. But I felt like it was more than that because it made me feel sad like deep down. And when I was journaling about it, I'm trying to express this the best that I can. Basically, the reason that I was sad about this relationship not working out was because this guy was basically the first person that I had in my life in a long time to, like in a romantic sense, like in a relationship sense, because I haven't been in a relationship for a while. I've just been like dating, but it's the first person that I've dated that really like improved my life and made me want to be a better person, if that makes sense. So this guy, in the short time that I've known him, probably like less than 3 months, he was a positive influence on my life. And I hadn't had that in a long time. And that's why it made me sad that we weren't continuing our relationship because it almost felt like I was now going to be losing this positive influence on my life. Like I was going to be losing the motivation to want better for myself, to, be a better person. If that was like the deeper reason behind why I became sad that we weren't going to be together, because it almost felt like I wouldn't have a reason to like be better or like want better for myself, if that makes sense, because I wouldn't have somebody around me all the time who also wanted better for themselves, who was also like pushing themselves, who had like, similar like interest as like the higher version of myself, if that makes sense, who was like also doing their inner work. So that was the core of why I got sad that this relationship didn't work out, because I felt like I was losing that. And it just really made me think about how first of all, you just never know how much somebody's impacting your life. I thought that was crazy because I didn't register that when I was actually dating him. I registered it after. And also it made me think how, you can't and I was doing this, so I'm not saying I don't do this, but it's like you can't rely on other people to be that like guiding like positive light for you. Like you have to be that for yourself. And it's been like 2 weeks since that happened, and I'm feeling so much better now. I'm feeling way more level-headed, and I can see that that happened for a reason because it was kind of what made me want to make some changes in my life and want better for myself again. So part of that has been, you know, and the example of how he made my life better was this guy was sober, like completely sober. So we would always like talk about sobriety and stuff. And like he was somebody who used to like party a lot and he recently got sober. And I thought that was just so cool. And it was just so refreshing. And, it made me want to drink less. And come New Year's, I made the challenge to myself to do 75 hard, which I've shared on my channel before. And one of the rules was, no drinking, and that's been only one positive change that I've had in my life because it's helped me get so much more focused and so much more clear, and it just aligns more with like my health goals as well. And it had been such a long time since I had somebody in my life who was like really challenging me and like making me want better for myself. And I made a positive change in my life because of the fact that I was around him. And that's such a nice feeling to be around somebody who's uplifting you in that way, like, making your energy like feel better, like making your life better, upgrading the quality of your life. Like those people in our lives are so valuable. And it was like I got so used to being that person in other people's lives, and at some point I kind of just lost that like motivation for myself to want better for myself and to like challenge myself, if that makes sense. So it was like this person, it wasn't really about him. I wasn't sad about him and me not working out. I was more sad about what he was like symbolizing in my life and what he was evoking out of me, because he was making me want to be better. And that was the feeling that I liked about him. So I was processing all of this in my journal, right? And it just made me think about how we can't rely on other people to be that motivation for us to want better for ourselves and to want to be a better person. Like we can't wait for like that external thing to come into our life and make us want better, because what are we going to do when they're not there? And what is the reason that you're not wanting better for yourself just because you want the best for yourself? Like why don't you just want the best for yourself, period? Why did I have to wait for someone to come in to kind of show me that? Even though everything happens for a reason, and I believe this is one of those scenarios, it just really made me think. And to make it even trippier, it made me think about my ex, because like it was such a toxic relationship, and I definitely felt in that dynamic. Although like in some ways yes he did for me, but more so on my end, you know, I do feel like I was, upgrading the quality of his life in some ways. And that was part of why it was so hard to break up, because he didn't want to let me go, because I was that in his life. Like he didn't have anybody else around him really that was like wanting more, that was, that had like better habits, that wanted to do things besides just like, freaking like drink all day, somebody who had goals and like a vision for their life and who had like healthy habits. Like he had nobody else in his life like that at the time. I cannot speak for where he is now. Do not know, sending him the best. But, it just made me think about how he must have felt in the past, because that was more so probably the reason why he didn't want to break up with me, like why he didn't take our breakups well, why he didn't want to break up, was because I was the person that was doing that for him. Like I was giving him that like, motivation to want better. I was the only influence in his life that was doing that. And, you know, flash forward, I'm now in a situation where it's been a long time since I've had somebody like that in my life, and that didn't work out. So it's just so interesting how life is, and it really just humbles you, because you just never know like what role you're going to be in, you know, because at some point I was the person that was making someone's life better, and, you know, I was in the position to walk away, and now I'm the person that had somebody in my life that was making it better who has walked away. So it's just like, you never know where things are going to end up. But moral of the story is that you're always only going to really have yourself. And you have, like, this whole thing has just taught me that I have to be the person that's wanting better for myself. Like, I have to be that person who's challenging myself. And, you know, that can't all fall on somebody else, or on, like, I can't like borrow that energy from other people. Like, I have to want that for myself, and I have to like take those actions to make my life better, just because I have to believe internally that I deserve the best quality of life. And that was just like a huge shift for me, because, you know, I used to be somebody who was like super disciplined, super motivated, you know, and just had so much drive. Like, even when I first started this YouTube channel, I was like, I'm gonna make 2 videos a week. Like, I was always vlogging. Like, I've always been somebody like that. And in the past year, it's like, I don't know, I just hit a kind of block, because my theory is that I kind of like made it to my goal, and then I just kind of let go a little bit. But I totally lost that drive and like that ambition and like that desire to like really care for myself and challenge myself and want the best for myself. Like, I just kind of stopped caring. And, you know, having this person make me want better, make me want to change some things, and actually made my life better by being a part of it, was such a refreshing and like new experience. And the initial sadness that I felt from it not working out was because I thought that I would be losing that ambition and that motivation and that desire to want better. But the truth, the bigger picture truth, is that just because he's like that, it has nothing to do with him. Like, it falls on me, you know? Like, I have that capability, and I have that kind of control over my own life to, you know, upgrade my reality, to upgrade the quality of my life. I don't need, you know, it's always good to have people and a community that keeps you accountable and wants similar things. And, you know, community, there's no replacement for that. But internally, like, we're always going to have to be, besides God, of course, you know, that guiding like light has to be in you for yourself. Like, you can't look around and like try to like gauge other people's and try to use their energy and use their perspective and follow their life choices to get to this place where, you know, you're feeling like fulfilled, and that you're meeting your highest potential, and that you're challenging yourself. And, you know, just that feeling of fulfillment like cannot come from anyone else. And, you know, it comes back to like taking that accountability over your own life. So I don't know what I'm gonna call this video, but it has been like a really big lesson for me. And, you know, I'm doing this challenge now, 75 hard. And, you know, the reason I'm doing it is because I just want to rewire myself to be that ambitious, disciplined person that I used to be, that, you know, made like the best decisions for herself because she believed that she deserved the best, and she wanted the most that life had to offer. Like, I want to get back to that place. And, you know, but that was inspired from somebody else in me. And now I'm trying to find the inspiration in myself again, and find my own reasons for wanting to stay motivated and have that discipline again, if that makes sense. So the moral of the story is that we have to be that, like, we have to be our own like guides, and we have to like find the strength and like the reasoning behind why in ourselves and not in other people, because it's just you and you, like Beyonce, me, myself, and I. From now on, I'm gonna be my own best friend. So it's just been really interesting to like learn this and realize this. And I hope you guys picked up what I was putting down. If you want to learn my step-by-step process on how to raise your self-esteem, then you need to be enrolled in Empress of Esteem, launching on February 1st. We have, I think, like 8 days now, if I'm correct, 8 or 9 days until the program goes live. To get the best price, you need to sign up now. It will be going up, and I'm really excited to just dive in deep about this topic because I have so much to say, and believe it or not, I have a lot of life experience. Like, there's more than meets the eye. So, and that's with everybody, not just with me, but I'm just saying, like, I have a lot to say about this. So if you like this video, leave me a like, leave me a comment. Yeah, just, it's been really interesting. Bye.